Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin McNamara. First tonight, MLGW watchdog group 21st Century Memphis or Bust is looking back on accomplishments and discussing what more they hope to see from leadership as they celebrate 2 years. 21st Century Memphis or Bust was formed shortly after the February 2022 ice storm, where over 100,000 MLGW customers were left without power. Since then, the advocacy group has been fighting for transparency from the utility and improvements to the system. Co-founder Glenda Hicks says there has been more transparency under MLGW President and CEO Doug McGowan, but says there is still more work to be done.
We are hopeful that we will see an absolute identifiable change within 24. That's what we're looking for, and that's certainly what we're pushing for, especially in light of the rate increase that they did not listen to us and went on and approved.
We'll hear more from advocates and their specific demands, plus hear about some of MLGW's most recent improvements tonight on ABC24 News at 10. Looking ahead, the Memphis City Council will be meeting once again this week. On the docket is a final vote on a health care extension of benefits for former two-term council members. If passed, the ordinance would provide council members who've been elected starting in 2015 lifetime health insurance, partially paid for by Memphis taxpayers. This ordinance has drawn serious attention in Shelby County, and the vote has already been delayed 4 times. Initially, a decision was to be reached over a month ago. Shelby County is currently in the midst of a $42 million project to install new LED bulbs on light poles. This is expected to save the city money and reduce crime. Residents and businesses are eager for the installation to be completed, but there's a question of who will be responsible for replacing the lights when they break or go out. ABC24's Jay Shakur investigates and finds out whose job it is.
As crime continues, specifically smash and grabs, better lighting has become a solution some Memphians and business owners have proposed.
When it gets dark outside, people can't see. The parking lot is so dimly lit, people riding by wouldn't be able to pay attention to, hey, look what's going on over there.
With questionable lighting infrastructure in certain parts of the city and an ongoing LED lighting upgrade by Memphis Light, Gas, and Water, who's responsible for ensuring your neighborhood or business is well lit at night? So let's verify. Is MLGW responsible for replacing your street lights? Our sources, Memphis Light, Gas, and Water, and the city of Memphis.
Street lighting is a deterrent, and to that note, you may also want to reach out to MLGW.
Yes, MLGW is responsible for all streetlights, but that needs context, as there are some exceptions. According to the utility, while it might be on a public street, the light might be privately owned or leased. MLGW says they are responsible for a majority of leased outdoor lights. However, some leased street lights are privately owned, and that's not the responsibility of the utility. But the light that might be leased by a property owner is privately owned and is not the responsibility of MLGW. So, the best way to know who's responsible is to contact the city of Memphis at 311. Now, MLGW says on their end, they have replaced 75,000 streetlights in the last year, and they have about 3,000 lights left to convert to LED. With your Verify, I'm Jay Shakur.
Looking ahead this week, the Shelby County District Attorney's Office is hosting an expungement clinic and job fair on Tuesday. Expungement allows for certain crimes to be removed from a person's records, but not every crime qualifies. The clinic and fair will be held on Tuesday from 4 to 8 p.m. at New Covenant Seventh-day Adventist Church at 4335 Horn Lake Road. Several services will be available there as well, including support for children, families, and reentry. The following day, Wednesday, Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy himself will host a public forum in Whitehaven. The forum is open for all to attend and will be held in partnership with the Respect the Haven community group. The event will kick off at 5:30 p.m. at the Southbrook Town Center. That's located at 1212 East Shelby Drive. Topics of discussion will include public safety and, of course, new initiatives from the DA's office to help curb crime in the Memphis area. And backing up to tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Monday, on the steps of City Hall, activist group Decarcerate Memphis will release its annual report, Driving While BIPOC. That's Black, Indigenous, and People of Color. The report includes data from January to December of last year, showing MPD conducted nearly 20,000 more traffic stops after Tyree Nichols' death and the passage of an ordinance to restrict pretextual stops for minor offenses. Shelby County Republicans Brent Taylor and John Gillespie have proposed a bill that limits cities and counties' ability to regulate police use of those traffic stops. The Senate votes on it on Tuesday. As Blount County continues to deal with the aftermath of the death of one of their own, the sheriff's office has released body cam and dash cam video from the fatal shooting of Deputy Greg McCowan. We do want to warn you, some viewers may find the video disturbing. It was released with permission from McCowan's family, and Shelby Eggers, another deputy who was hurt in the shooting, also gave permission for the video's release. Eggers called McCowan to the scene of a traffic stop. That's when the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says Kenneth Wayne DeHart refused to cooperate, was tasered, and then pulled out a gun and shot both deputies. He was on the run for 5 days before being caught. Although we did stop the video early, you can see it in its entirety at ABC24.com. Now to Mississippi, specifically DeSoto County, where detectives are being recognized by the U.S. Secret Service for their work on the Cyber Fraud Task Force. They conducted 3,000 digital examinations involving different crimes in DeSoto County, Mississippi.
Where it really pays off is what we're able to do and what these investigators are able to do for the community in violent crime and the digital platform that we so often find ourselves finding evidence of those violent crimes in the communities.
Detectives Lynn Starkey, Craig Dixon, and Greg Horton received the award. DeSoto County Sheriff Tommy Tuggle says the work of his detectives makes his team among the best in the nation. And this weekend, the Memphis Islamic Center organized a summit aimed at finding solutions to youth violence. Several city leaders attended the summit and shared their initiatives to decrease crime in the city. ABC24's Zaria Oates was there and shares the major takeaways.
Dozens of people visited the Memphis Islamic Center Saturday, learning about city-led plans to curb crime in Memphis. Finding solutions to violence in the city has been an uphill battle. But as more people hold forums and summits, bringing people of different backgrounds together, city leaders have been able to get even more ideas to move the 901 in the right direction.
It's going to take the whole community to change what we're seeing.
Mayor Paul Young and Councilwoman Pearl Eva Walker were some of the summit's panelists. Walker talked about a concern brought up time and time again.
One of the topics that continues to come up is parenting. The community needs information. The community is looking for answers.
Answers some community members find by listening to the young people they serve. Toria Brown is a manager of the Pursuit Center. The center works with boys 14 to 17 years old who've been through the justice system and want better for their future.
As adults, we think like, oh yeah, we have the solution, we know what we're trying to do, but it's imperative that we actually listen to the youth because they are the ones that are involved in whatever is going on.
A few guys from the Pursuit Center even got to sit in on the summit.
I think that encouraged them because they see that there's leadership and community leaders out in the background trying to figure out ways on how we can help them. Letting them know that there's leaders out there that's trying to figure out ways to create programs and create different initiatives to help them become better than what they are.
This Youth Violence Summit was part of a Black History Month series, but only the beginning of working to turn the city's crime problem around. Mayor Paul Young also hinted at some new programs his office is working on to keep young people out of trouble and on the right path. Some of those programs include using initiatives from other major cities to get young people involved in the community, as well as increasing federal funding to improve public safety. Kevin, back to you.
And tomorrow there will be a celebration of life for Pat Halloran at 2 p.m. at the Halloran Center for Performing Arts and Education. Halloran was a visionary organizer, fundraiser, and arts advocate in the Mid-South. He headed the campaign to restore the Orpheum and remained head of the Downtown Theater for 35 years. His efforts helped transform the former movie palace into a beacon of hope for a revived downtown. All right, after all of that, switching gears to the forecast now, joined by meteorologist Corey Smith. Corey, we didn't forget about you. Coming to you now, how's the forecast looking?
Looking a lot better. We're past that cold weather, so
Good.
getting
Glad.
better.
I'm always happy when you give me good news. When it's
yeah.
bad news, I wish you would just go away.
Yeah, well, definitely some good news, not only today, but for most of this week. Let's take a look outside right now. Just actually saw sunset here across the Mid-South. Overall, a warmer day than what we saw yesterday, except for that low temperature of 25. It was chilly to start the morning off. We got up to 50 in the afternoon, a little bit below average for this time of the year. Temperatures are going to be climbing each day, though, going forward. So take a look at tomorrow morning, what we can expect. Clear skies, plenty of sunshine. Temperatures close to freezing as we start off the day, but we are warming up quickly, already up to 54 by noon, and you'll see the trend is going to be a little bit warmer as we go every single day here in the forecast. So walking through tonight and in tomorrow, the overnight lows instead of the 20s should get right around freezing to start off your Monday morning. You'll see this is around 5 o'clock, most of us around 32 to 33 degrees. We warm up pretty quickly. We're close to 50 degrees around 11 a.m., so maybe a good day to go outside and take a little bit of a lunch break during work, and then we're sitting in the middle to maybe upper 50s in the afternoon, maybe a couple clouds, but overall a very quiet start to the work week here in the Mid-South. So tomorrow afternoon, 56 degrees around 2 p.m. up to 57 around 4 o'clock. Sunny conditions expected for your day. Looking forward, well, you can see this is the upper atmosphere forecast. This shows us those general temperature trends. We have that colder air in place right now, but a ridge building out towards the west, and that's going to move towards us as you head towards the middle of the week, bringing in some mild conditions. We're looking at much warmer weather as you get towards Wednesday and even Thursday before a little bit of a cool down towards the end of the week. But notice out towards the west, again, another ridge forming. It looks like a very mild forecast as we end out the month of February. So temperatures at the surface, let's look at some of the model guidance here. You can see around 10 to 15 degrees warmer than average. That's that yellow and orange building in as you get towards Wednesday and into Thursday here in the Mid-South. So that's going to translate to 60s, maybe even some low 70s. High pressure will be in place for the next couple days. So on top of that warmer trend from our southerly winds, we're going to be quiet as well, expecting plenty of sunshine to start off the week, and that goes through the middle of the week before our next rain chance. You'll see as you get towards Thursday, an area of low pressure forming in the southern plains, and that'll bring us a chance of a couple showers as we go into your Thursday, but a very quick moving system. Not expecting much in the way of rain with this system, and we're clearing out by next weekend. We should be dry. Looks like temperatures rebounding as well. We'll be back into the 60s. So that 70 forecast going forward, a high of 55 tomorrow after starting right around 29 degrees. We're up to 63 in the afternoon on your Tuesday and close to 70 on Wednesday and Thursday. A little bit cooler towards the end of the week, but outside of Thursday, we're looking at a lot of sunshine this week.
Yeah, how about that? All the way up into the 70s. It's borderline summer-like.
Yeah, we're getting close that time of year. I think we're going to get rid of those colder temperatures and start feeling a little bit nicer.
All
outside.
right. Hey, I'm in favor of that's for sure. All right. Thanks for joining us on this special edition of ABC24. We'll see you again at 10. Take care.